Hello, YouTube! Welcome to part 12 of Horizon Forbidden West with a therapist, where we're going to have some interesting stuff happen here as we ask the Utaru if we can encroach upon their sacred lands. Thanks for encroaching upon my sacred land and watch. Ugh, that's what she said. And watching my videos. Leave a like if you hated that joke. Leave a like if you thought it was funny. And leave a comment if you'd like as well. Would love to read what you have to say. I'm not even going to run it back. We're doing it live. And if you want to see me do it live, come hang out with us on Twitch. Follow the links down in the description. Boy, we're off to a hell of a start. Let's just go talk to the Utaru and let's get me to stop talking and get more of Aloy talking.
Knows our problems. And yet, what do they do about them?
Nervous?
Bringing an outlander for the chorus. I hope this works.
It'll be worth it, Zoe. You'll see.
I really don't want to do this at night, but I guess we're gonna.
So the singing just keeps going. I guess that means the chorus is still in session?
The people sing to soothe the chorus, to help them break their impasse. It wouldn't be necessary if they were in harmony.
I'm not gonna have to sing back, am I?
Of course not. The singing will stop when we present ourselves. Are you ready?
I mean, I wouldn't mind if they kept singing. It's very nice.
All right, let's go talk to them.
Oh, it's eerie.
Speak.
Your sacred cave. There's something inside I need. And if I can get it, it will help.
Zoe and the Nora have spread word of your story. And what you want. We know of no spirit in the cave, only Fa, our land god, who entered the cave and did not return.
The power of the land gods is broken. We are diminished. Tales of spirits will not help us. Nothing will.
We weaken, we die, and become fertile ground for new life. This is the natural order.
Wait. You're all just going to sit around until you become food for worms? Literally?
You know, okay. You gotta admire, to some extent, I think, the radical acceptance of the circle of life. Like, you know, that has got to be a I'm just thinking about like what a peaceful way of making sense of your like existence. Like there's like, yeah, you know, if you die, you go back into the earth and you just become a tree or grass. Yeah, cool. I mean, I'm sort of like just reacting to that. Like, I think that's kind of interesting that like that's really just where they're at. There's like a radical acceptance around death to a point that they see it with the perception of it spawns more life. And before we talk about Aloy's response here, I want to get a little bit into the sociology of this, because I've seen comments throughout the Zero Dawn playthrough and even the Forbidden West playthrough about people liking when I talk about the sociological aspects of this stuff. And the reason I do that is because since I'm trained as a systemic therapist, one of the things that we talk about a lot in terms of how we conceptualize the issues that people face is we talk about them in context and in their wider systems, because individuals are both products of and influencers of their environment. And Aloy, once again, finds her in a position where it is difficult not to be part of the homogenous group as it relates to spiritual doctrine. And we've talked at length throughout these games about the ways that humans develop all of these constructs as a way to try to explain the unknown and also make sense of what their purpose is. And so the Utaru, going in the direction of when we die, we have a seed that plants and we return to the earth and then life spawns from that, is really not any different from a creation of doctrine standpoint than any other religion or spirituality or way of trying to conceptualize what your existential purpose is and what you are. And because they are a homogenous group who has very little interfacing with outside groups outside the context of either trade or fighting, there's probably not too much push on that doctrine. And I'm not here to suggest that they need to have all of their beliefs shifted over to something else. There is in some ways a beauty to the fact that these people are like, yeah, you know, you die and you just return to the earth. And if you catch that early enough on in a person's development and your entire community believes in that wholeheartedly and is bought into that, and all the people that you look up to and who take care of you and who you respect and trust believe that, any one of us would be like all of these Utaru and be nodding our heads in agreement, along with the fact, like with what this guy says. Now, there might be some dissent among people who start to critically think about this, and I'm sure that the Utaru, like any other group, have controls in place to try to handle that critical thought that starts to shake the core of what they believe in. Because the reality is, not a single tribe in this entire world actually knows the objective truth about the world that they're in, just like none of us do. But it's weird and difficult as an outsider who is not part of that homogenous group to get on board and fully understand just how deep in your bones this stuff is. Like, for that guy to say that to the Utaru, I'm guessing, that's like him saying, there's air we're breathing. Like, they're just like, yeah, Aloy, on the other hand, has a different idea of like what life is and what you should want to do with it. And so the way that we see her show up in this group is the way that we've seen her show up in a lot of groups. And I want to be fair to Aloy and how we talk about this. I know that I am often harsh on Aloy with how she handles things interpersonally, but I want to use this as an opportunity to empathize a bit with Aloy's frustrations here. And why would Aloy struggle with this? Because Aloy has grown up as an outcast where the general doctrine and belief about existence and purpose has led her to a position where she has to essentially operate on her own autonomy to survive because she was outcast from those beliefs. If Aloy had been raised within the Nora the way that any of the other Nora were raised, she likely would be more adherent to the Nora doctrine. And she still was to an extent, but was willing to critique it a bit because she was not the beneficiary of that system. So when Aloy comes in here and hears that, she kind of uses her inside voice out loud, where instead of just thinking, oh my God, you guys really just want to get like eaten by worms and turn into trees? She says it out loud. And that's, I think, where she fails a bit here in terms of like a diplomatic perspective. It's okay to think that. In fact, you're going to think that. You're going to cast judgment on things that you don't understand and potentially don't agree with. Like, I'm sure that Aloy sees that or hears that and thinks to herself, that's weak as hell. You guys are ready to just lay down your arms and get eaten and pulverized and made into fertilizer. And they're all like, yeah, totally down. That's what our understanding of what our existence is. Why wouldn't we do that? In the same way that like somebody in the military is like, oh yeah, I might get shot and killed while I'm deployed. Yeah, I know what I'm in for. That's how it is. So it's okay for Aloy to be like, ew, I don't like that for me. And I don't like that for us in the sense that I am in need of your permission to do what I need to do. But when she decides to take those thoughts and make them words, now all of a sudden she has created an interpersonal engagement. And when you are in an interpersonal engagement like this, particularly one that requires some diplomacy, your primary directive has to be to understand before you challenge. Because if you challenge things as a total noob, you look like an idiot. So unfortunately, Aloy coming in like this and then saying that in response makes her look out of touch and perpetuates whatever narratives these people have about outsiders and what they think of the Utaru. If Aloy had taken some time to ask Zoe, for example, can you tell me a bit about the cultural norms that are surrounding this? Can you help me understand what I am up against when I walk into this room? What are the things I need to know about the way that you guys conceptualize life in these cauldrons so that when I go in there with an agenda that cuts across that, I can empathize? Like, that is so important. Because if she shows an empathy for and an understanding, all of a sudden her challenge appears to come from an informed perspective instead of from a naive bull in a china shop side of things. Where her saying, y'all just want to get eaten by worms is like a total invalidation of something that these people feel deep down in their soul. So if she comes in and she's like, hey, I know, I hear that. I totally understand that. Makes a lot of sense. Super glad that you guys are in on that. I'm not here to challenge that. I absolutely think that that's a beautiful thing. And I'm not going to pretend to understand it better than you do. The reason that I'm here is because as I realize that I am making a request that is going to be difficult. In fact, before I came before all of you, I was thinking about just doing it anyway. And then I realized that that would be disrespectful to all of you because it's very clear that this means a lot. And I realized that this is a big ask. And I'm wondering what it is about my request that's difficult for you guys to wrap your heads around. Are there things that I can offer that might show you that I understand better, or that like I can take proper care of this? And I can hear somebody saying like, but DrMick, time is of the essence. You can't do that kind of diplomacy. Well, that just took me less than a minute to say that. Like, we're not talking about a 5-hour conversation here. We're talking about like just a recognition of your context. You have to know your audience. And unfortunately, I think by virtue of how Aloy was raised and how she has generally oriented herself to the environment and to others, Aloy takes as an autopilot response a polarized position on groups, which is I realize I'm saying a lot of things right now, but that's the core of this entire thing that I really want to make sure that I get across, is that Aloy has learned that in order for her to get things done, she has to take a polar response. She has not done much to try to lean in to groups to fully understand what she's working with. She kind of rejects the notion that she's somebody that has to work with people. She sees herself as Aloy despite the blank. And I'm not saying that she hasn't done that, but her go-to, and we've seen this in spades at this point, is to take that polarization. That's not going to serve her well, particularly in environments where her reputation does not precede her in a meaningful way. So I don't love this response, but I do understand where it's coming from. Let's see how they take it. Not well.
So says the Outlander, ignorant of our beliefs.
It's almost like I do this for a living.
Please. Remember how she brought peace to Ray. Listen to her.
We've heard such temerity from you before, Zoe. Let us not forget that you agitated for reckless war against the Kaja.
At least she's trying to help.
How? By inviting you to break our traditions? Should we change our ways to suit every impudent outsider who wanders into Plainsong?
I get it. I get it. Like, this is a really complicated issue, and this is why we're going to talk about this, because Guerrilla has crafted something so beautiful here with these tribes. I absolutely love how all of this is just dripping with complexity, because he's not wrong. The reality is the Utaru have survived in the way that they have by holding the beliefs that they have, by cultivating the environment that they have, by interfacing with the environment in the way that they have, and by having a shared belief system. And it is one that, even if people haven't necessarily agreed with it all the time, it's worked. Because remember, at the core, at the absolute core, for all of us, survival is the ultimate reinforcement mechanism. Survival, at the end of the day, is going to be the thing that tells you that what you did there was fine. It is the ultimate punisher. It is the ultimate rewarder. It is the thing that will reinforce things, and it transcends basically all of space-time. So the Utaru all sit here, not even necessarily consciously thinking about this, and this guy's like, whoa, yo, like, we've had some generations here who, despite all of the crazy shit that's happened, we've managed to survive. And part of that survival we could attribute to the fact that we're together on the way that we think about these things. And so for somebody like you, a Nora who was outcast, who comes in Asurum clothing, to say, oh, no, screw all that shit. You just want to be eaten by worms. If I pander to every single outsider that challenges us, that might be good, because it might diversify and expand their survival capacity, because there is a limitation to what the Utaru are capable of handling. All you got to do is come in here and just, like, you know, decimate these people with guns and arrows, and they have no chance. But the reality is that if he, from a oh man, this is just so good. My brain's working faster than my mouth. Look, here's the thing. If you're the Utaru and you're the leadership of the Utaru, you are well aware that your spiritual and communal foundation is not as strong as your constituents will believe that it is, which is true for the most part in real life. You know, how many people say, like, you know, oh my God, I'm so proud to be an American. And you're like, well, how about you join the military? And they're like, I don't know that I love America that much. Right? There are some people who are like, hell yeah, I'm in. But a lot of people are like, I mean, America's cool. I don't know that I want to like die for it. So it's not as strong of an identity from that perspective as you believe, people like to believe that it is. So what happens is dissonant conversation, dissonant idea becomes extra dangerous. Because if Aloy comes in here as the savior, or comes in here as somebody who has immense capacity, and she plants a seed of dissonance on what the Utaru believe, that is scary from a power perspective and from a groupthink perspective, because now all of a sudden the like one unifying thing you have in the form of your culture has been pressed in. So when this guy says, if I'm going to, you think I'm going to pander to every outsider? I think what he's saying is, I can't allow the Utaru belief system and the Utaru culture to consistently be rocked by diverse ideology. And so if this guy is like any person in a position of power who tries to maintain a status quo, he's going to skew conservative. And he's going to be like, I don't know that I want to listen to you. I think we're probably going to hold on to our traditions, thank you, because they've worked just fine. And I think that's part of what it is that he's threatened by. Again, that's what makes this so complicated. Because on one way, you have to admire that. You have to understand that. Like, they have survived up until this point in this particular way. And also, that doesn't necessarily mean that they will continue to survive on that. That you would do well to have that expanded. And perhaps Aloy's a good person to have in here to challenge some of these things. Like, maybe we should reconsider the way that we look at cauldrons, given the fact that our land gods are starting to attack us. Maybe we do need to think outside the box. Very tricky, and there's no right answer on this, which is what makes politics and diplomacy such a pain in the ass. And that's why armchair politicians who sit at home on Twitter and you don't actually know what you're talking about, because this stuff is so complicated. You can't just have things be the way you want them to be just because you think that it's a better idea. And that's what Aloy's running up against right now. Oh, all right. I know I'm saying a lot of words. Thanks for hanging in there with me.
No. You should change your ways because your own lands are killing you.
She has a point.
She's not wrong.
We have stood by and watched as our land gods waste away. You would have us do the same with our neighbors. Our children.
Not the children!
And this lone outlander can save us.
By the way, that's a huge allyship there from Zoe. That's what Zoe just did there is not easy. And I don't want to take it for granted. Because Aloy is absolutely an anomalous figure here, and she needs backup. Like, she needs representation here. So Zoe leaning in on Aloy's behalf is doing two things. One, she is supporting and being an ally to Aloy, but two, she is putting her own like belonging in the group on the line. Because if the people in power see dissent as a huge threat, then Zoe now becomes a polarizing figure as well. And now you're starting to see like fragmentation in the group. So this is really important for the Utaru people to see Zoe take a stand against the leadership on Aloy's behalf, because what it will allow them to do is connect a bit with their dissonance and hopefully connect a bit with whatever critical thought and autonomy they have. Because if you see Aloy step up and then you see this guy push back and nobody backs Aloy up, and you're an Utaru sitting in this space experiencing dissonance, you are going to fall back on what you know. You're going to fall back on your leadership, and you're going to fall back on your culture and your survival, because it would be a huge risk to lean in on the Aloy thing. So if you're Aloy, this is, again, why you want to cultivate goodwill with people who can advocate for you and represent you, because as soon as Zoe steps in, the Utaru people see somebody who looks like them and who is part of the same group as them touch on a piece of that dissonance that they're experiencing, where maybe they say, you know what? I hadn't really thought about it that way. And Zoe has clearly thought about it that way. So maybe it's okay for me to think about it that way. That's huge. I mean, Zoe really is sticking her neck out here for us in a very profound and important way.
Nonsense. A single seed matters little in the infinite cycle of growth and decay.
Oh, that's convenient. Hey, guys, think about how cool it is that we all could die and we could give life. Oh, but, outsiders, just one seed. It's just one seed. It's just one. I mean, what's one tree? One tree is not going to provide enough oxygen. It's going to get hit by lightning. One tree. I hate that shit. I hate that. I mean, you all know this. I hate that. When you take that belief system like that, and you take that like spiritual trinket, and then you flip it for your own good in this moment to push your own agenda. I hate that shit.
An alarm. It's coming from the mountains.
What a trope.
It's an alarm!
Ah, the children!
Machines must have broken through the cordon.
Then we need to get down there.
What about the chorus?
If the cordon has fallen, there's nothing left to prevent us from going in the cave. The time for permission is over.
Oh, baby.
Then off we go.
Oh!
This way, Aloy.
Because I'm a picky little bitch with unrealistic expectations. Man, I wish we could have had more of the diplomacy there. It would have been really interesting, I think, to see that. I don't like that it got saved by the horn. Like, I don't like that we're going to battle now. I think it's I understand, like, because you really gotta dive into some crazy complexity there if we wanted to have that be what it is. But this is like the second time that we were supposed to have like this big, like, diplomatic political moment, and then like some fighting bullshit happened to take us away from it, to like kind of forces our hand and gives Aloy permission vis-a-vis just like, I'm a powerful force who can survive this moment and protect people. Like, I get it. It's not Diplomacy Simulator, but it is kind of like lame that we've had 2 times where we got bailed out because we got an attack in the middle of a political hearing. But whatever. Do you agree or do you disagree? Comment down below. Because I'm a sellout YouTuber. But whatever, permission's permission.
Let's get this done.
That was a weak spot!
I've seen these machines before. Hunter killers. They must have come from the cordon. The others will defend us. We have to move.
Dude, this thing's... Birdie's relentless. Yeah! Thanks, man. Yeah, toss me some bows. Or toss me some arrows. Okay, this is maybe a little bit cooler that it's happening at night. I'm not as mad about that
I
anymore.
really think we can do something about all of this. If I'm right, then yeah.
I've got this!
Going down to the cauldron, gonna have myself a
More
time.
machines.
Rogue machines are everywhere, attacking us without hesitation.
These machines
Going
are
down
so
cauldron, gonna
everywhere.
have myself a time.
There's more than just Minerva and a missing land god in that cave.
Do you think this pattern of Aloy being let off the hook by circumstance could reinforce Aloy's bad habits when it comes to diplomacy, working in cultural systems? Yes, I do. It's actually a really good question. Yes, I absolutely believe that it can. Because Aloy's not having to deal with the nitty-gritty part of those discussions. So she may, over time, develop a false sense of confidence and security as it relates to having that. Where she's like, yeah, no, I can just bulldoze my way for a little while, and then it ends up working out. Where in reality, it was circumstance. So, yeah, it could inadvertently. Not saying it necessarily will, but there's an absolute possibility.
More machines.
We can take them out, Aloy. On your lead.
Of course we can take him out. Borrow?
I'll take this one!
That looks like a weenie.
Machines down! That was a well-placed hit!
Dude, these guys are rough. These little raptors.
Ammo for
That's the last one. Now onto the cordon. Let's go.
you. Right behind you.
Machines are everywhere.
Sure are.
We're almost there.
So many machines broke through. What happened to the cordon's defenders?
We better be ready for anything.
Great question, Varl. God, imagine if I was playing on the easiest difficulty. This would have been so much easier, so much faster.
The cordon. Or what's left of it.
So many dead.
They will be mourned when the time is right. For now, we must keep going.
Yep.
Into the cave.
Yes, indeed. They could not hold the line.
May the land gods forgive our trespass.
I appreciate the reluctance to say anything about that from Aloy. No need.
What is that?
A kind of wall. Made of light. We'll have to find a way around.
Oh!
Follow your lead, Aloy.
Perhaps this convenient opening to the right.
Up here.
Yeah! Of course, Ella. I appreciate you sharing that, friend. It's also very good to see you. Okay. So this is one of those moments
Like a cauldron door.
where if I'm Aloy, I prepare Varl and Zoe to be like, hey, what you're gonna see is probably gonna be whack, and you maybe never seen it before, and I just need you to trust me. Cause like they probably never seen what they're about to see. And if it calls me Elizabeth Sobek, it's my nickname.
To understand what's going on in there, you're gonna need one of these.
I got bunches of them.
On the temple. Just like this.
Oh man. This would be mind-blowing.
There's blue light on the door. Yeah, it takes some getting used to.
Don't worry, Zoe. I'll help.
Now listen. The machines we've been fighting, they're different. More dangerous. That means there's something very powerful somewhere beyond that door. And it wants us dead. Follow my lead. And be ready for anything.
Oh man. I understand why they wouldn't do this from a video game perspective, but I just want to say, like, if you are in a position where you are exposing somebody to like a mind-blowing thing, like something that they just have absolutely no preconceived notion for how to handle, you really want to make sure that you are patient with them and that you prepare them for that. Like, Aloy did a good job in the context of like how you would do that in a video game, but like, and I appreciate that, instead of her just being like, hey, put this shit on your temple. Like the acknowledgement of like, it's going to take some getting used to. You're going to see some stuff that you aren't used to seeing, and if you have questions about it, you should let me know. Or like, if I freak out about something, then you can freak out about it. But trust that if I'm not freaking out about something, that it's okay. Like, I can see the same things that you can. Like, that would be really smart to do here, because you can't just expect that people have all of the understanding of a thing that you have when you expose them to that thing. You have to scaffold, not just learn skills, but you have to scaffold people's understanding of novel stimuli. And that's what Zoe's going to be going through here. And this is going to be a lot for her to process. Varl reinforcing that is good, though. Like, I appreciate that he was willing to step up there.
Let's go.
Oh boy. All right.
We have to find the core of this place.
All right, yep. I just assume everything wants to kill us, guys.
There's so much metal.
Who built this place? Machines. Not like any you've seen before.
Oh man, I'm pumped for this. I gotta imagine cauldrons are gonna be even more badass in this than they were in Zero Dawn. Look at this freaking molten lava. Magma.
Machines.
What are you doing? What is that thing?
Right behind you.
A leap lasher. Hey, hey! Ah! Yeah! Whoa! Hey, Varl, I need help. Oh god. Oh god. Whoa. Yeah, thanks guys. Cheering me on. It's helping a lot.
This is a cauldron where machines are born.
It looks like one, but if the land gods come and go, then they aren't just made here. They're being repaired too.
And the spirit
Soon enough.
you're after is in here.
Minerva? Maybe, but I have a feeling that's not all.
Yeah, we really only have done these solo, so yeah, doing this with other people is very fascinating. All right. Oh, baby. This never gets old. Ever. Oh, it's so awesome. Can't wait to
Those
see
cables
Athean.
are
Glowing.
I've seen them before. They're like an infection. That thing I said, it wants us dead. It takes over places like these and makes killing machines. It's called Hephaestus.
Even the mountain is rotted to the roots.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. Good old Hephaestus. Have you or a loved one been exposed to Hephaestus? Mesothelioma.
Looks like those cables are blocking the way up. You two wait here. I'll find another path.
Okay.
Dude. Oh my god, it's awesome. Architecture Admiration Simulator.
What are those panels?
Whoa!
Huh. Standing on this floor panel activated something.
Hey, Varl!
Looks like parts of those pillars are rotating. Maybe if I shoot the gears, I can lock them into place. Make a path up.
How are you doing, Zoe?
This place was meant for the land gods. No Utaru has ever set foot in here. But I had to, right? To help you and Aloy. To find Fa.
You did the right thing, Zoe. That did something.
There. Should be able to climb all the way up now.
Dude. Ah!
And there she goes.
Yes, sir. I'm about to get all fancy.
What's that thing beyond the wall?
It's massive, whatever it is.
Another floor panel. But I can't shoot the gears on the pillars from here.
Varl!
Maybe if I can find something to weigh this down?
Or just have Varl shoot it while I stand on it. Honestly, I'm really glad that Gorilla didn't go in the direction of, like, giving your...
Might be a way across, if I can get them into the right position.
I'm so glad my squad mates don't, like, I don't have to, like, command them around.
This crate should be heavy enough. Can't fit the crate through that opening.
Sure you could. Ah, come on.
I think I can get the crate through that shield. But I'll have to go around.
Did you find a way across, Aloy?
I'm working on it.
So we can just walk through this?
Okay, getting there.
What? Why can it go through? Okay, whatever. I'm not gonna ask too many questions. Why can that go through there? But I can't. No biologics! Oh my god. Yeah!
The gears on the pillars should be exposed now.
Ah, bullshit.
There. Should be able to get across now.
It's like Terminator, no clothing can make the jump? Yes.
Everyone's familiar with places like this. Are you as well?
No. I've been in an old world ruin, but nothing like this.
I see.
Yeah, Zoe is,
I think I'm getting close. One more set of pillars. There should be a floor panel nearby to activate them.
Oh no, but the sand spilled on it. Oh no.
So close.
Bullshit. God damn it!
Going down. Go. Okay, now I can cross.
Yeah. Yeah. Alrighty. Good.
Festus's cables are all over that node. But maybe I can override it.
Be gone. Be gone, Hephaestus.
Got it.
The cables are moving.
They're drawing back. We can climb up that vent.
Yeah. Come on up. What's up, Varl? How you liking this so far? Alright, and through this door as we continue our tour of the cauldron. Through this door. Don't mind the scan. It doesn't look like you can walk through it, but you can. Pretty neat, huh?
All this metal. Cold as winter in here.
Far removed from the warmth of the sun. How do we cross?
Cables are twisted around that node on the other side. I'll see if I can get to it.
We'll wait here.
Yep, you do what you do best, Varl. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Jump! Oh!
Damn. How do I get back up there?
Are you okay down there?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Look at that. Ooh, baby. Alright, let's think. So that. Climbable up there. That's climbable up there. These like piston things. gonna go back in. God damn it! Get up, Aloy, go! Ah! I knew that was gonna happen. Okay. Oh, jeez. I knew that was gonna happen. Just long enough.
Okay, now, how to get up to the node?
I'm sure there's a way, because there's always a way. Well. Okay.
All right, let's see what we can do. Come on over, you two.
Dude, if I was Zoe, I'd be like freaking out. Like, what?
Transfer prime armament to Unit G Mark 1.
Who is that? Hephaestus. It's taken over this whole place.
Oh, he sounds so cool. Ooh, baby.
Looks like there's another node on the other side, near that door.
Go do your thing.
I love talking subordinate functions.
5.
How to get to that node on the other side?
Keep talking, Hephaestus.
There's still no sign of fog.
It's a big place. We'll keep looking.
Mark 1. Increase throughput by 20%.
Holy shit, man. All right. Let's think.
Engage active distribution J1 Zeta. Transfer secondary packages to materials B5 and 12.
He sounds like he's like really laboring.
Load ordnance in Units A.
Oh, there's a platform down there. I think I can reach it if I glide.
Thank you for the reminder that I have a glider, Aloy. I still haven't gotten used to that. That would have taken me quite a while to figure out.
Assessment.
I completely forgot I had that thing. Hot, 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 hot. Or cold, maybe. I don't know.
Cycle auxiliary hybrids. HX. Armament assessment complete. Increase incendiary loadout for Unit G Mark 1.
Oh, dude, it's him talking is so awesome. It adds so much to this moment.
I think I can hitch a ride on one of those metal carriers.
5.
Oh boy.
Those carriers are moving a lot of weapons. What is Hephaestus up to?
Begin fueling valve Unit G Mark 1.
Laurel, above us. She's in the air.
Don't let go, Aloy!
Yep, wasn't planning on it.
I actually almost let go to grab onto those.
20%. Engage. Anti-distribution. Check one.
There's the note.
Zeta. Transfer secondary packages to terminals B5 and 12.
Oh, they did stop. Whoa. Oh boy. Hephaestus is gonna know we're coming.
Who is Hephaestus? What does it want with this place?
Get this from my it's taken over facilities before to build deadly machines. But it wasn't always hostile. It used to be part of something good. Something called Gaia.
You don't want to know about Gaia? Okay. I'll let you ask questions at your own pace. I don't want to overwhelm you with a bunch of information, so... Works for me.
More of those cables covering that door.
Shouldn't be a problem.
Oh no.
What has Hephaestus done to her? Turn it into a weapon. Which sooner or later will be unleashed.
And then, plain song. If my people see what it has become, if one of our gods attacks them,
You know what we have to do.
Yep. This is what you signed up for, Zoe.
Laurel, are you ready? We have to get down there.
Oh boy.
That dome of light. Protecting the machine.
Yeah. There should be a node I can override nearby to shut it down.
Grimhorn. Okay. To fight a Triceratops. I'm into it. This is big for Zoe, man. This is gonna be soul crushing for her. The amount of existential bananas she's gonna have to eat here at the end of this.
Intrusion detected. Deploying GR1.
Here we go.
Ah! Oh, those are rockets.
That's all of the machines.
God, imagine how hard that would have been on easy.
Warning a machine that nearly killed us.
Yeah, Aloy! Yeah! Like, I gotta make an analogy for y'all here just to understand. I mean, you probably all understand a bit of how insensitive that is, but like, she's so pragmatic. This would be like you walk into a cave with your friends, and one of them is a devout Christian. Devout Christian. And Jesus Christ himself is laying on a table in the middle of the cave. And Jesus, actual Jesus, stands up and pulls out a Tommy gun and starts shooting at you. And then you gotta like kill Jesus. Like, your Christian friend isn't just gonna be like, oh wow, yeah, everything I believed my entire life is bullshit because Jesus just tried to kill me with a Tommy gun. Like, that's not how it's gonna work. Your friend is gonna be like, oh my God, Jesus, why did you kill Jesus? I know he was trying to shoot us with a Tommy gun, but like, I don't know, maybe he had like a holy reason. Like maybe holy means bullet holes. And like we were about to be blessed with the holy Tommy gun. Like, like, I mean, it's just like, you're not gonna immediately have somebody get super pragmatic about this because of like, they had an adverse reaction to it. Like, so I appreciate that, like, Aloy's like, you know, screw this Triceratops because it tried to kill us. How could you mourn it? But, like, literally this woman has spent her entire life with all of her family and friends worshiping that thing. She is going to think that it must have been either contaminated or gone crazy or whatever. Her first reaction is not going to be like, I'm going to just, yeah. She's not going to walk up and kick it and be like, yeah, no, screw you. I'm not a Utaruist anymore. So like, to stop being silly for a second and to be serious here, like, it's another, like, I realize Aloy's saying it to Varl. Zoe's not hearing it, but Varl is also Zoe's significant other, as far as we know. And so, to some extent, Varl is an extension of Zoe. And so, Aloy, again, using the inside voice out loud, is not helping herself gain any rapport here. And I'm not trying to, like, freak people out from, like, oh my God, DrMick, should I ever say anything because it's going to cause interpersonal drama? Like, no. But if you take a second and just ask yourself, like, what's actually happening here? If you observe the moment for what it is, you have a person who just had everything they've ever believed turned on its head in a span of about 10 minutes. So, of course, she's going to walk up to that and mourn it. Now, if Aloy wants to burn bridges and be on a warpath throughout her life and not have anybody be close to her and intimate at all, then she can say this stuff. But if you're a person who's watching this and you want to have close, intimate, meaningful relationships with people, you gotta know your audience and you have to think about how you're going to respond to this type of thing and ask yourself, why might Zoe respond in a way that I wasn't anticipating? Is it because of me? And because I just don't think the same way, and maybe there's some latitude to be sent here of like, wow, this must be a real struggle for you. If I think about what this experience was just like, I think Aloy would buy a lot of karma there, interpersonal karma. If she was like, man, I can imagine this has got to be really hard for her. Instead of being like, mourning something that just tried to kill her, that's weird. So, just saying. You really gotta put this in context to understand. Just like whatever you worship, if you're a spiritual person, like whatever you believe in, if that is loaded into any kind of entity, I just want you to imagine for a second that you actually ran into that entity, and then that entity like attacked you, or you didn't understand the nature of its presence, and then your friends killed it. Like that would be profoundly unsettling for you, and you would probably do what you can to lean on what you know, which is to mourn.
It's still her god.
Thank you, Varl.
I do not grieve for a god or a machine, but because I no longer know what to believe.
Look, so if you want, you can go back home.
Do I still have...
I'm Zoe right now. Okay, I'm Zoe. That's Zoe's face right there. Yep. Just zoom in on that face real quick. Okay, just take a real good look at Zoe's face. Because God, there's so much to talk about here. I love that Varl stood up to Aloy there. Beautiful thing. Knock a little interpersonal sense into her. Excellent. Also advocates for his girlfriend. 2, I really appreciate Zoe's articulation of that. Because, yeah. I you know, this is an experience, like Zoe is having an experience right now that is not one that is easy to connect to. Really, whether you're like an overtly spiritual person or not. Like, we have this real strong tendency to reject things that cut against what we deeply and strongly believe because it's very painful to go through that. Like, Zoe is in psychological pain. We like when we perceive our world and when our belief systems have like nice right angles and straight parallel lines and they're clean and neat and proper and collectively agreed upon and understood. And when that gets shattered, you start having to ask yourself so many questions. Like the just the reflection question of like, have I been wrong? Is so painful. Like, how much time have I been wasting out of ignorance? Like, you could get real harsh on yourself real quick. When the reality is, like, if you go back 10 times out of 10, Zoe's going to do what she did because she didn't know any better. Like, this is a profound moment of, like, just information overload on the nature of her existence. And that is so much to take in. And so her acknowledgement that that is what she is struggling with right now is huge. I really appreciate that that's something she's willing to lean into. It gives me a lot of respect for her as a person and a character, that that's something that she's willing to articulate and acknowledge, because she could easily just dive right back into assimilation and be like, you killed my God, you bitch. How dare you do that? You didn't understand. Like, she could totally go there. But she didn't. She's like, whoa, this just shattered my world, and I need a second to, like, process that. Now, the reason I say that I am Zoe's face right now is because Aloy did something that, I'll be honest with you, is a personal pet peeve of mine. Which is when Aloy says, yo, do you just want to, like, go home? I think that comes from 2 places. One is a place where I give Aloy the benefit of the doubt, and one is not. The place where I give Aloy the benefit of the doubt is I think Aloy might have seen, like, she might be connecting with this in the sense of like, oh yeah, I've had my world shattered in a big way multiple times, and it's a lot to take on. And I kind of wanted to get away from it sometimes, so why don't you go home? As a way to, like, try to take care of her from all the craziness that she's about to experience as a result of having her world turned upside down. That's my benefit of the doubt side of Aloy. My not so benefit of the doubt side of Aloy is Aloy. When Aloy says, like, you want to just, like, go home, it's quite dismissive and invalidating of the gravity of this moment. And it takes a bit of, like, I don't want to say it takes the autonomy away from Zoe, but it really just makes a boatload of assumptions about Zoe at a time where Zoe is already vulnerable. And it maybe even portrays that Aloy's, like, annoyed by this. Like, I don't want to have to deal with this shit. Why don't you just go home? Like, You want to go chill? Like, it makes an assumption that that's what Zoe needs. And I don't think that Aloy knows Zoe well enough to make that call. I think the better thing, honestly, would be for Aloy to either just shut up and be silent and let Zoe process this. That, I think, is honestly the best way to handle this. Like, just let Zoe be in this for a second. We're not in immediate danger anymore. Or to just say, like, you know, when Zoe says, I'm having a hard time figuring out what to believe, Aloy saying something along the lines of, like, that must be incredibly difficult. Is there anything that we can do to help you right now, or do you need some time? That's the much more supportive, warm, acknowledging of the nature of their relationship way to approach that, rather than to just make an assumption of, like, oh, you want to just go home? Like, oh, this has gotten hard. You want to just bail? There's an undertone to that. There's a statement under that that says something along the lines of, like, I'm not sure you can handle this. Maybe you should just go, like, process it at home. I don't want to deal with it. Which is how Zoe is potentially likely to read that, given the fact that she's vulnerable right now. So be mindful about saying something like that to somebody when they are in this type of vulnerable position. Like, just either shut up or be attentive to what happened, in the sense of being like, man, that seems like that's a lot to take on. Like, sorry for making that assumption. Like, what's that like for you? Do you need anything from us? So you save yourself so much interpersonal bullshit if you just go in that angle.
Have one? And if so, for how long? Can you really heal our lands? Save my people?
One step at a time. But it starts now.
I am destroyer of all
It's time to fist this.
to compensate. Retreat. Inevitable.
Not bad.
Up we go.
There's more.
Like Aloy said, this is only the beginning.
Varl does a really good job supporting people without triangulating himself. And I just want to give him some credit right now, because he is an excellent example of, like, if you're the, like, tertiary part of a dyad, he does it well. Varl doesn't, like, involve himself. He doesn't, like, get in the middle of the bullshit. Varl just, like, reinforces things for people. Like, he shows that he, like, listens. And he, like, creates this reassurance for people interpersonally. Like, Aloy and Zoe are going to be a little bit at odds here for a while. And so when he just, like, reaches out and touches her, he's like, you know, as she said, like, this is going to take a while. There's a nice reassurance to that. He's not getting in the middle of it. He's not involving himself overly so. He's just reinforcing something that Aloy said and providing a degree of reassurance that is rooted in the nature of his relationship to her. And I love that. He's done that multiple times here in a way that I think strengthens the bonds of the three of them as they're navigating this. He's not making it about him. He's not telling Zoe what to do. He's just reinforcing the facts of the situation and doing it in, like, a really tender, meaningful way. And I love that. His interpersonal skills are fantastic. Not always great with boundaries, but his interpersonal skills when he's in these situations are great. He handles novel information and adversity really well. And that calm, stabilizing force here is, I think, useful to the people around him.
Aloy, the core. My focus is showing
Festus has been
holograms on it.
upgrading the security grid on the cauldrons. Some of the data's been corrupted. Not sure I can do much about that right now. And my focus doesn't recognize some of these. Must be machines I haven't seen yet.
Got what you need?
Yes.
Let's press on then.
Damn. Challenged Ethos. Thanks for the 10 gifted subs. That's incredibly generous of you, friend. And thanks for being here. I appreciate all of you for hanging out with me tonight. Or today. Or, you know, whether you're here on YouTube, if you're in Twitch chat. I am so grateful that you are giving me the opportunity to shepherd you through what I believe is a truly fantastic game so far. I am enjoying this immensely, so however it is that you're hanging out here, I appreciate you. I did. I just looted Zoe's god. I did. Alright, now I am curious. It wants me to go that way. Enter the facility. Oh, baby. Okay, so wait. Before we do that, I want to go back this way. Because... oh, okay. So that's just the entrance to the cauldron. Okay, cool. Do you think Varl having Sona as a mother factors into his ability to facilitate that kind of diplomacy? It could. I mean, I'd be interested to know what he would say about that. In terms of what effect his mother had on that. Oh, wait! Whoa, 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 buddy. Don't stub your toe, alright? But yeah, I mean, it certainly could. I think Varl also has a bit of a habituation to strength and resolve because of his mom. Like, Sona is very...
Greetings, graduates of Cradle 9. Welcome to the regional... Error. Unauthorized access detected.
That doesn't sound good.
Was that the spirit? Minerva?
I don't think so. At least, not directly.
Oh, baby, part 13's gonna be whack when we do it, but we're gonna go in here.
Attention. All personnel must vacate the facility immediately.
Something doesn't want us here.
Graduates of Cradle 9. Oh, man.
What exactly was this place?
Seen anything like it before?
No. There. That's our way out.
A bit nitpicky here, but I don't know that I like Aloy saying out loud, "What is this place?" Because I think that she had a choice when we were sitting in the middle there before we walked into this place. What Aloy could have said to Varl and Zoe, hey, all right, we got that taken care of. Gods are good. You guys go back to Plainsong and make sure everybody's doing all right. I'm gonna go into the lab and see what I need. I'm gonna see if it's there. Like, I think I've shown myself to be capable. So, like, trust me on this when I go in here. And then I think Aloy might have a bit more latitude to get into her anxieties about not necessarily knowing what this place is. The problem is that when Aloy brings Zoe and Varl into this space, she holds a really important position of power in the sense that she is the person that is perceived to know more about what's going on. And so there is an inherent hierarchy there where Varl and Zoe are dependent on Aloy's confidence and expertise. And so when she says that out loud, there is a potential to inject anxiety into Varl and Zoe in a way that is not necessarily going to be helpful, because now it's like, if Aloy doesn't know what this is, we're really shooting, like throwing punches underwater. And that's, like, if you're going to take this position of leadership and you're going to be the person that knows the thing and you're going to lead the people in, you do have to take on a bit of the burden of holding in your outpouring of whatever kind of anxiety you might be experiencing when there are people that are reliant on you to be the one that is shepherding them through this. It's a bit nitpicky, but yes, there's a case to be made that she's saying it to the player. But remember, when I do these playthroughs, guys, I'm not playing it as if this is a video game and they're speaking to me, the omniscient gamer. I am taking what happened as if Aloy actually did that, and I use these things to illustrate the psychological and interpersonal concepts. I understand that there's stuff thrown in here for me, but I don't take those into account because, as far as I know, there's not somebody on a controller on the other side of a TV screen controlling the way that I show up in interpersonal relationships, or you show up in interpersonal relationships that we're talking to. So I tend to not take the meta into account when we are dealing with these things, because that would make for very boring analysis. I love Varl doing the like dad pose. Huh, this is some very interesting lighting fixtures here. This does look like a lab of some sort.
Error. Unauthorized access. Initiating facility lockdown. Stay out.
What's going on?
Well, at least the emergency lights work.
What just happened?
Minerva's definitely here. And I think it's trying to keep us out. I'll scout ahead, see if there's a way to get us in.
You sure we shouldn't come with you?
Well, yeah, Minerva could be dangerous. Let me make sure it's safe.
Okay.
There it is.
We'll be right here if you need us.
Great. Okay, cool. So there we go. A beautiful move by Aloy. It's exactly what I was just talking about. Like, she's presented now with the opportunity. Do I take them along or not? And I appreciate that she is saying, like, stay here.
Are you doing okay, Zoe? Zoe?
All this. Minerva. Hephaestus. Gaia. This is what will help heal Plainsong?
It's hard to explain. I mean, I barely understand it, but yeah. It's what Aloy's been looking for this whole time.
Oh, was I supposed to go up? Son of a bitch. Ah! You got me on this one, Minerva. No! God damn it. Ah! Come on.
About Fa. There was no other way, right? No way to heal her?
You saw what Hephaestus turned her into. We had to stop her.
Right.
It's gonna take a while for Zoe to really be able to navigate that and put that together for herself.
Okay.
It really is.
I need to find where Minerva's hiding. I should look for a way to access the facility systems.
This is really cool that it's all red like this. I love it. Okay.
Blocked.
Alert! Restricted access. You are not wanted here.
Nope, sorry. You're not getting rid of me that easily, Minerva.
There's something I find interesting, don't know if it means anything, maybe we'll find out, is that when Minerva says something like, "We don't want you here, get out," or whatever, the timbre of her voice changes. And I wonder if that is due to some kind of like
shutting me out.
Like if she was overridden in some way, or if her coding's borked, or whatever. She doesn't sound the same when she delivers those messages.
Looks like this might be where data's stored, but I don't see a way to access the system. I better keep looking. Huh. Might be able to pull that open.
Might.
Let's see what this leads.
By the way, I do appreciate everybody keeping things...
Might be a way out of this shaft.
I appreciate y'all keeping things spoiler free as I like kind of try to think my way through these things. It helps a lot. Oh. Sunlight Kitten, thank you very much for the sub.
And I'm outside. I need to find a way back into the facility.
Interesting. I want to know who busted that hatch open.
Looks like another part of the facility.
One that may not be as locked
Door's
down.
Locked.
Oh, but...
Don't think I'm getting through that door right now. I should turn back, see what else I can find. If I can get Minerva to cooperate, I can merge it with Gaia. Finally bring her back. And we can start fixing the blight, the storms, and maybe she can help me figure out who those strangers in the proving lab were. Why did they have a clone of Elizabeth? Why did they want it back up?
Yeah, dude, that shit's whack.
Pipes up there. Might lead me to a way back in. But how to reach them?
Great question, Aloy. Oh, I probably needed to use my glider. God damn it. I do not. I keep forgetting I have it. Thank God Aloy climbs this stuff so quickly. It just makes things so much easier. Whoa! Okay, that works. We can do that.
Another shaft. Okay, now I've got to find a way to plug into this place.
Dude. Oh boy.
Looks like some kind of dome. Wonder what it's for.
Oh, baby. Insert Gaia kernel. 13's gonna be whack! We're gonna say hello to Gaia in part 13. YouTube, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this playthrough today. I know it was a bit shorter than usual, but we had quite a good amount of stuff to talk about, and it means that the next part's gonna start off nice and hot. So, thank you very much, my friends, for making the effort to watch these videos. I really do appreciate the thumbs up and the comments and all that stuff. So, keep them coming. I read them all. I don't respond to all of them, but I do read them all. Thanks for keeping things spoiler-free. However it is that you support me, whether it is just with your presence and your views, or if you happen to support me financially in any kind of way, thank you very much for all of that. It really does mean a lot. It makes a big difference, and I am grateful for you. If you are binging, I will see you right away in the next episode. If you're waiting for the next one to come out, I'll get it out as soon as I can. In the meantime, stay awesome, and I'll catch you on the next one.